do the cash walk, do the cash walk. Hey, I'm leaving flaming footprints on the asphalt. Pop your collar, twist your wrist, do the cash walk. I'm dropping dollars while you're wishing on a scratch off. My hollow mama list, she just hit the jackpot. I'm leaving flaming footprints on the asphalt. Pop your collar, twist your wrist, do the cash walk. I'm dropping dollars while you're wishing on a scratch off. My hollow mama list, she just hit the jackpot. I'm leaving flaming footprints on the asphalt. Pop your
The Minor Details, episode 15, and we have a humongous episode for you tonight. It's a special episode. It's not going to be about true crime, but it is an investigation, and we're going to give you our opinions at the end of this, if we think it's real or not. I want to welcome my co-host from The Walking Dead and 107 TV shows and movies, Pete Pitts. Welcome, Pete. What's up?
Thank you, Danny, the crime solver, Danny Miner. Thank you, everyone in the world. I am really grateful for you all to tune in. We appreciate everyone who's joining for this show. This is your show, not only citizens of the earth, but citizens of the universe today, as we talk about our main theme, the UFO crash in Las Vegas and are aliens real?
Pete, I think they're real, and we're going to get into it because I definitely think they're real.
Hey, you know what? It's going to be up to us to decide. It's going to be up to everyone out there who's tuning in. Welcome to everyone. I want to first welcome everyone on all streaming platforms. This is a live show, so welcome to our Instagram, Facebook, and our YouTube joiners and viewers, and welcome everyone else who's joining later on Spotify and Audible and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, that's our three main ones too, Pete. And listen, Pete, I know you wanted to go over it, but I'm too excited. I'm too excited. We went up 15 new cities in the last week. 15 new cities, brother. It was awesome, guys. We were downloaded in 129 cities last week. We're now in 144 cities, and we are in 14 countries. Welcome, Finland, right, Pete?
Welcome to Finland. Welcome, everyone. We're so honored that everyone from around the world is tuning in as this show is taking off. This is a show where we discuss true crime, legal cases, news, entertainment, missing people, and even a hint of paranormal. Tonight, we're diving into that hint of paranormal as we discuss the main subject. But before that, we have some weekly highlights to go into. Danny, do you want to start us off?
Listen, the only thing I really want to talk about right now is, and my weekly highlight for the week, I got to talk about some kind of crime case, right? So I want to talk about Kohberger, okay? Recently, actually today, Ann Taylor is going to say that they're going to tell who really committed the act. They know who the real murderer is. But the judge said, you're not going to say any of this unless you have some kind of evidence that there's a second murder or there's another murder. So the judge put her down. But folks, you got to realize these defense attorneys, they'll do anything they can to change the public opinion. Even just saying something like that, oh, there's a second suspect, or we know who the real murderer is, it tries to change the public's thought. It's just a ploy. I can't stand it, Pete. I can't stand it.
Well, Danny, you and I are going to have the opportunity to speak to some of the locals live and in person in August as we travel to Moscow as well as Boise, Idaho for the Brian Kohberger trial. So everyone stay tuned for that. Danny and I were also just talking in our pre-show about how we are going to be soon streaming live from Las Vegas Strip and from downtown Las Vegas. So stay tuned. Please subscribe, like, follow. That's what you can do as a fan and as a supporter. You can help us grow this show so we can reach more people.
Oh, exactly, Pete. And I'll tell you what, when we are on the Las Vegas Strip and we're going to be taking questions from people passing, going by us, it's going to be epic. Folks, I'm telling you, you are on the beginning of something that's going to be crazy here. This podcast is going to get huge. Wait till Pete moves down here in July. It's going to be epic. Epic.
Absolutely. We continue to grow and we appreciate your support. Please leave a review also if you're tuning in on one of our platforms. And everyone, please take the opportunity to let someone know who might be interested in sponsoring the show. We are actually seeking the right sponsors to partner with so we can elevate this show to the next level. And I see Angela in the comments with ET is epic. Shout out to ET. I've got the ET paranormal shirt on today. I love it. I love it. So,
hey, anybody out there, is our audio okay? Because somebody said our audio was not good on Instagram. You can hear us all? Yep,
Yeah.
they're saying we're fine. We're fine.
Please let us know. Yes, if you're on Instagram, please let us know in the comments and let us know on all platforms how the audio is. We appreciate everyone tuning in. And I have a couple more weekly highlights today. Danny, the markets are way up. I know we talk about this occasionally. Crypto is way up. Stocks are way up. Real estate prices are up. Basically, if you're investing in assets, your money's going up and growing. So I want to encourage everyone out there, study, research, save, pay off debt, and invest. Then we can be financially free and we can live a great life. Even
I
greater.
agree, Pete. I agree. Make your money work for you. That's the way to get rich. Unfortunately, I did not do that, so I'm not rich right now, but I'm hoping to be in the future.
It's going to happen. It's on the way. So that's why I encourage everyone out there, please find wise counsel like my boss, Dave Ramsey, or someone else who's talking about financial freedom. Find someone to help counsel you and teach you and encourage you how you can live an even better life, because then you can spend your time doing what you love in life. So as time is short, you want to go ahead and jump into some entertainment spotlights, Danny?
Okay, you know what, Pete? Well, you're going to a party tonight, so I'll let you start. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're going to the party tonight.
It is true, everyone. If you are in the Nashville area, hit me up, send me a message, because we are going out tonight. I'm actually going to be going to Sky Daddy's album release party tonight for her new album, Trauma Core. Trauma Core is not only the title of the album, Danny, but it's also a new genre of music that she is basically bringing forward to the world. Sky Daddy is an amazing artist. Trauma Core is all about healing from emotional wounds, overcoming toxic relationships, and moving forward after terrible things have happened or abuse or other things that are bad. It's basically about reframing your life. And so this artist is amazing, Sky Daddy. Check her out on all platforms. She's got about 450K on Instagram, 300K on YouTube right now, and she's Virgin Music Group's newest artist. So shout out to her.
Ah, that's awesome. Listen, the only spotlight I have is, we talked about this. Nicolas Cage is going to be playing John Madden in the new upcoming John Madden movie. Pete, I cannot wait. It's going to be epic, totally epic. And listen, Nicolas Cage is in everything. And you know what? Nicolas Cage lives in Vegas. He's a local resident here in Vegas. People see him all the time. I got to plug my computer on while we're talking here.
Yes. Okay. Please do. And shout out to Nicolas Cage. Shout out to, of course, Las Vegas as well. I have several friends out there who have run into Nick. And I also want to shout out Nicolas Cage's uncle, Francis Ford Coppola, as well as his son, Weston Cage Coppola. Nicolas Cage comes from a great family of artists. It's not just him. But since we're talking about Nick Cage, he's got a new movie out that everyone, Danny, in the insider scene is raving about. It's called Surfer. It's, I think, based in California, but all I know is I saw the trailer and I'm going to watch that ASAP.
Pete, what's that about?
So basically, I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say just briefly from the trailer, he's in a California town where he's returning there after many years. He's trying to teach his son how to surf, and it looks like there's some punks on the beach who don't like him and his kind around there. And it's Nicolas Cage, so some stuff is probably going to go down.
Oh, that's awesome. He's like in everything anymore. Honest to God, he's in everything. And you would think to yourself, do you remember what movie he started in, Pete?
Man, I mean, Leaving Las Vegas was obviously his Oscar award-winning role in the early 90s, but no, he started way before that. It wasn't Fast Times, was it?
No, he started, the first thing I remember him in was Valley Girl.
Yes. That's right.
I mean, I'm old. I'm definitely showing my age to show Nicolas Cage in Valley Girl.
Nicolas Cage is such a legend in the industry. My friend Avi out in California is actually good friends with Nicholas's son, Weston, and I'm always hearing just amazing things about Nick. He not only is a great actor, he's very convincing, but he's also, from what I hear, he's really a good person in real life. So, hey, Nicolas Cage, if you're listening, please come on the Minor Detail Show. Isn't that right?
Yes, definitely. So what do we got? What else do we got, Pete?
Well, I think before we get into our missing person spotlight, I think right now it's about the 10-minute mark into the show. So it's about that time for the 1 minute of the show that we're going to call the minor rant or the minor minute, where we just let Danny have it. And we're going to let Danny go for 1 minute about whatever you want to rant about, brother.
All right, guys, this is my rant. We're going to make this a highlight weekly. Danny gets 1 minute to scream, yell, and get it out of his system. Today, I'm picking on you guys with the big trucks with the big tires that back into parking spots, okay? We are sick of it. How big do you want these trucks? Okay, are you overcompensating for maybe something that you don't have below? Why do you have these big trucks? Okay, it's ridiculous. And then we gotta watch you back into a spot, hold traffic up like, look at me, I'm the cool dude with the big truck. And don't forget, they'll have their pit bull in front too to even make them more tough. And then when they hop out, they're 5'2", Pete. They're 5'2" in this big truck with their pit bull in the front. And they back into a parking spot. I can't stand these guys. I can't stand them. I call them D-bags. They're douchebags. We're sick of your big trucks with your big tires. I said what I said.
Wow, Danny.
They're going to hate me, Pete. They're going to hate me.
I had no idea, Danny. So how many of these big truck drivers do you see every day in Vegas? It's pretty common out there, isn't it?
Listen, I see them all the time, and then they tail you, Pete. Right? They're right on your butt, right? They want to tell you, brum, 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 right? And I swear to God, I want to tell them, I want to roll down my window and say, I wanted a big truck with big wheels too, but then I turned 10. I grew up. After I turned 10, I didn't want a big truck with big wheels. Okay? So, seriously, guys, we don't need your big trucks. You back it into parking spots. We're sick of it. Buy a regular truck. And half these guys don't need trucks. It's not like they work construction. They just buy them to be douchebags. They don't need these trucks.
So they have a 3-car garage and they have 2 other regular vehicles and a truck just so they can flex, it sounds like.
And Pete, let me tell you something. These trucks are so expensive. Their car payment's probably $1,000. They're probably paying $300 a month for insurance, probably $500 for gas. They're paying $2,000 to prove to me and you they're douchebags. They're willing to pay $2,000 a month to prove us they're douchebags.
Wow. Wow. Have you seen the movie with my coworker, Russell Crowe, called Unhinged, where he gets in that road rage? Oh, man, that's what I'm thinking of right now. Be careful out there on the streets, Danny. Be careful.
The big truckers are going to come after me, man.
So Angela says in the comments, Danny just wants everyone to have a golf cart, which she's totally not against. So I think I could also have a golf cart. But, yeah, I got to have my cars and my trucks occasionally. I don't own a big truck, but sometimes I'll drive them if someone lets me drive one. I'll say that. That's a good rant, though. I hear you.
Angela said the pit bulls are going to come after me.
Oh, that probably will happen. Yeah, probably will happen. So, wow. So, Danny, since we have a special episode today of aliens, paranormal encounters, our missing persons spotlight is going to be kind of paranormal themed as well. But before we get to the missing persons spotlight, Danny, I forgot to mention the Alien movie that I worked on in the entertainment spotlight. I worked on.
Oh, yes. Pete worked on an Alien movie. Let's hear it, brother.
I totally forgot. So the first time I was technically ever an alien was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I got to play a Ravager. They actually made me an alien. They put scars on my face. It was 8 hours in the makeup chair. I was hanging out with Dave Bautista. I was hanging out with the director. I was hanging out with all the stars. It was amazing. But then I worked on The Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt in 2019. That came out in 2021, and it's an alien movie, action adventure that involves time travel. If you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime. The Tomorrow War. I helped design that set.
That's awesome, Pete. Man, I wish I was in an alien movie. Somebody pick me for an alien movie. I want to be in an alien movie.
So my question to you on that is, do you want to play the alien or do you want to play the witness, the person?
I want to be the last guy standing, like the aliens chasing me, and I got to survive for humanity's sake. You know what I mean? I got to keep humanity alive. I'm the last man on Earth, and they're chasing me.
That sounds pretty interesting. I would actually watch that. And I see Angela in the comments says, I think we're all aliens. That's an interesting perspective. I bet the animals think that too when they look at us. The animals look at us humans, they're like, yeah, these guys are aliens. That's hilarious. So missing person spotlight, Danny, we have to go ahead and touch on what we do every week, which is try to bring attention to people that are missing in the world. And this week, we're talking about people missing from national parks, which a lot of people are speculating could have paranormal or alien-related activity involved.
Yeah. Pete, I picked this because we're talking about aliens today. We're talking about the crash alien spaceship that supposedly crashed a couple years back in Vegas. And I watched a documentary called 411 The Missing. the UFO edition. And it's about how many people go missing in national parks and are never seen, found, or heard from again. And a lot of people speculate that it's aliens. And they talk to multiple people in this documentary that actually seen alien spacecrafts in national parks. So I thought it would be good just to take a couple people that went missing in national parks. The first one is James Pruitt. He went missing at Rocky Mountain National Park. He was 70 years old when he went missing. White male, 5'6", 150 pounds, blue hair, brown and gray hair, and blue eyes. He was wearing a dark blue jacket, orange beanie style hat, blue jeans, carrying a small camera bag. He has never been seen again. February 28th, 2019. They located his vehicle March 3rd, 2019.
Wow. If you see something out there, say something. And I know in these national parks, there's a lot of wilderness, so there's a lot of area. It's possible these people are still out there, probably not alive, but it's possible that they are still out there. However, it's possible something else happened. Maybe they were taken from somewhere by something. So our second missing person today went missing from Grand Canyon National Park, and his name is Jonghyun Won. He went missing September 17th, 2017, and he was 45 years old at the time he went missing. So he is an Asian male, 5'7", 121 pounds, brown eyes, black hair. All they found of Mr. Won was a white Toyota Camry that belonged to him at Moraine Point on the south rim of Grand Canyon National Park. So they found his car there. Where did he go? No one knows.
I know, Pete, and that documentary, 411 The Missing, that's how they go over. A lot of these cases, these guys were outdoorsmen. They were in the wilderness daily. They loved this. They did this for a living, and they still went missing. We got another guy, Peter Jackson. He went missing on September 17th, 2016. He was 74 years old when he went missing. He's a white male, 5'10", 155 pounds, blue eyes, gray hair, and a beard. They said even though he was 74 years old, he was in excellent physical condition. He walked every day. Just gone from the national park. And we will put these up on our webpage too, guys.
Danny, that's so strange because all of these people that we mentioned were people that were in good shape. They were going to hike at national parks. And yes, we know there are animals. There's a lot that can happen in a national park, but also these were some people who could probably get away or defend themselves in most situations. So the fact is, what happened to them, we may never know, but I hope we find out. Please join the Minor Details Facebook group at any point, and you can actually look for all the updates on these missing people, as well as their pictures, as well as leave us comments and questions for future cases that you want to hear about.
Exactly. Are we ready, Pete? Are we ready to get into the meat and potatoes of this?
I think we're as ready as we're ever going to be. This is going to be a big topic today. It might turn into a multi-part series, depending on how far we get. But we are talking specifically about one big case, the UFO crash in Las Vegas, April of 2023. And we're talking about, in general, are aliens real? Do they exist? And what evidence do we have to support it?
Exactly, Pete. And let me tell you something, guys. Before we get into this, there was a new whistleblower came out last night. Okay? He's saying he is part of this thing called the Immaculate Constellation. It's a group of people that investigate UFO crashes, investigate UFOs. He is coming out saying he was part of this. And folks, he basically told us that our universe is nothing that we think. And that we have been held information from our government for years of what we are and what this universe is. This universe is nothing what we think it is. That's what he said, Pete. And he said that we are not free. We have free speech, but we do not have freedom of all the knowledge that they have. They have knowledge of what we are. This is what he said. And how we got here. And who these aliens are, but they refuse to tell us. And this is a guy that was part of a government program called the Immaculate Constellation by the U.S. government.
Wow, Danny, when I saw the video, I will admit it definitely struck me as he was speaking genuinely, he seemed like. And so
did he look nervous to you a little bit?
There was definitely some energy going on in his demeanor.
I agree.
Yeah, without a doubt. So I think that there's obviously more than meets the eye to life. And I think as we're talking about these subjects, a lot of people, we probably have both sides of the fence that are tuning in right now, Danny. We probably have the diehard believers, we probably have the skeptics, and then we probably have the diehard anti-believers, the complete total skeptics. And so if you're in the comments, I want you to let us know what evidence, if any, do you believe is the most convincing evidence of paranormal life, particularly alien life, as we're talking about UFOs today?
Yeah. Pete, and in this case that we're going to talk about, this one in Vegas, it was so weird, Pete, because it was such a hot topic and then it went away. It just went away. And a lot of people think that's very suspicious that this thing just went away. It was so big and then poof, gone. Nobody's hearing about it.
Very strange and very abrupt. I know a lot of journalists and reporters have said they've tried to get back in touch with Angel. Angel was one of the young men who reported witnessing the paranormal activity. Before we dive into the details of that case, let's just ask really quick, is this all a hoax or is there something real here? Now, Danny, you were just in Roswell recently, so you were in Area 51 Central.
Yeah.
Did you feel like the energy there was different? Was it palpable or noticeable to you? I've heard some people say it is there.
It definitely is. But I'll tell you what, you brought a good energy point up. The most energy place I've ever been to is Sedona, Arizona. Sedona, Arizona, Pete, I don't know if you've ever been there. It looks different. It feels different. It feels like you're in a different world when you're in Sedona, Arizona. And there is more UFO sightings there than most of the places in America, believe it or not, in Sedona, Arizona. So Roswell did have that energy field, but I felt it even more when I was in Sedona, Arizona. It's so weird, but it's true.
Interesting. I've not yet been to Sedona, but I hear great things. I need to visit. I think we need to do another UFO episode from there someday.
Yes, yes.
I'm definitely with that. Well, not only the United States of America, but around the world, we have major UFO sightings that have been reported in Australia, France, Canada, Argentina, and of course, all over the USA. Even Russia has reported seeing lots of UFOs. So we know that for many, many decades, thousands of people around the world have claimed to see something in the sky they can't explain. I just want to say personally, I have never encountered one. I've never seen one, but I've seen lights in the air that were moving and that were very peculiar. I'll say that. But what about you?
I've never seen anything either. I really didn't. I've never seen it either. I mean, I'm looking at our Instagram comments and people are talking about last year there was a UFO above Sapphire's strip club in Vegas. They actually had it live. Honest to God, they did. They actually filmed it live and people were live on TikTok filming it. Vegas, of course, is the capital of UFOs. You know what I mean? Area 51 is 20 minutes from the strip by air and about an hour and 15 minutes by car, maybe an hour and a half. But it, to me, folks, and a lot of people don't believe it, but I truly feel this angel who called this 911 call in was believable, Pete. I do.
It definitely seems so. People have called them aliens, extraterrestrial beings. What Angel and the family described them as in Las Vegas was creatures. So they've been all kinds of things, but around the world, they've been sighted. As we get into the details of this case, it happened late April 2023. It was a local Las Vegas family, the Kenmore family. They called the authorities and they claimed that they saw aliens in the backyard. Now, the 911 operator said, "So are you saying there's two subjects in the backyard?" And Angel says, "Correct. They are very large, like 8 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet. I don't know. They look like aliens to us."
That's what he said. And I'm telling you, Pete, when he said that, think about this, guys. If you think this kid's lying, right? You gotta have balls to call 911 knowing there's potentially you could get arrested by making a false call, okay? When you call 911. To call 911 and say you have aliens in your backyard, Pete, something happened that day. Something happened. I don't care what anybody says. And something happened at that Miami Mall incident, too. Because it wasn't long after the Miami Mall incident, the Las Vegas incident happened. Folks, it's crazy. Something's going on. I feel it. I truly feel it.
The video in the Miami Mall incident was also interesting. I didn't research that case as much, but I did hear about it when it happened. And of course, I saw the videos. And there are some very interesting descriptions, as we'll get into. So when Angel was continuing to the 911 operator, this basically happened late at night, about 11:50 p.m. that night. And Angel says, they have big eyes, very big eyes. I can't explain it. And they have a big mouth. Now, people have said that, Danny Miner, you have a big mouth. Was it you that saw?
No, Pete, they don't say that. Did they say that? I never heard that before.
I've never heard that either, but I feel like someone might say that. And if they do, how dare you? But anyway, this was the description that Angel gave to 911 operators. Not only that, but his brother also attested to that. Angel was around 16. His brother was around 15. And their father also testified. So 3 people out of the 4-person family saw creatures in their backyard. Very strange.
That is totally crazy. And Pete, if you watch the video, and I think everybody watched it, they're creeping up. They're like walking slowly like they're scared. I mean, you can see it, them walking slowly like they're scared. Pete, I just don't think a family like them would just, like a whole entire family, make something up like this. I just don't believe they would do it. I don't. Something happened. And what we're not mentioning to the folks out there is that 2 Metro cops actually seen it. 2. So the Metro cops that were called to the scene, they seen it crash. They seen a light fall out of the sky. So what are the odds? The 2 cops that go to the scene seen it fall from the sky. And in fact, he said, listen, I'm being serious here. I think we seen it fall from the sky. That's what the Metro cop told Angel, that they seen it too. So you have 2 cops seen it. Their whole family seen it. Something happened. Something without a doubt happened. Pete, I think you're going to think I'm nuts. Well, everybody thinks I'm nuts, but you're going to even think I'm crazier. I think it's some kind of portal. I think they come in and out of reality. I think that's why we don't see them. And every once in a while they pop in and people see them. And I think, McBlue's making fun about Bigfoot, but it might be Bigfoot too. Bigfoot might be popping in. You don't know. I think it's different portals. I know it's crazy, but we're living in crazy times, guys. This is crazy times.
It's very interesting to think about. And if you watch the movie, the Alien movie that I worked on, The Tomorrow War, there's portals happening there as well. So similar themes. Is it possible? Hey, I'm not the expert. I'm not going to be the one to say, but I will say that experts did analyze the video footage from the backyard. And also, as we see in our Facebook comments right now, Steve mentions that Metro has body cam footage of the incident. And there's a lot of speculation. There's speculation that there was footage of it and it got deleted or it got altered. Of course, some people speculated that the footage we saw was fake, but some experts investigated it and said, no, there's a real shadowy figure that's there. And what Angel said was to the 911 call, he says, they have shiny eyes. They're not human. They are 100% not human. It was a tall, skinny, lengthy creature. It had a gray, greenish color and a big face and eyes, and you can see a big mouth.
Pete, that's insane. But Pete, we can look at this, and you know what really kills me is when people dismiss it right away. Oh, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Listen, I don't want to talk about religion because I'll really get people mad. So we're not going to talk about religion. I'm not going to get into religion. But why would the government? I feel the government is releasing things little bit by little bit to us so they just don't throw it right on us, Pete. I swear to God, the government is just giving us little bit by little bit. But the one thing about that whistleblower last night, his last thing he said was that there is a God. So even though there's aliens, he said there is a God. He said, yes, we live in a strange universe, and yes, there's aliens, but there is a God. That's what he said in the video last night.
Danny, as we get into more and more of the details of this case and some of the interviews from Angel, we'll see that That's one of the speculations of him and the priests that came to his house. He actually had priests come bless his house after these incidents because other things happened inside the house. And their overall consensus was that he was possibly dealing with a fallen angel or a demonic entity of some sort.
Could you imagine? That's crazy, Pete. Pete, that actually gave me chills. You just saying that gave me chills. And listen, we didn't bring up, I'm going to go into this now, Pete. We talked about this. They are having paranormal activities at their house ever since this incident. They had a cross go off their wall, am I right, and float, and Jesus was pulled off the cross. And it actually floated in the air. That's what Angel is saying ever since this happened. Now, folks, who knows what this is? But it's definitely something. I mean, people in New Jersey are still seeing these drones, for God's sake, flying all over. And we've never talked about that. No, the government never told us anything. Just, oh, yeah, we know about it. You know about drones flying all over New Jersey? Come on. Come on. I'm not that stupid, Pete.
Yeah. So what's going on with the drones? What's going on with the satellites? You know, there's so much speculation that we can get into. What's really up there in the sky? That's why I say the only things that I've ever seen with my own eyes are unusual lights moving in the sky. But I can't say for sure I've ever seen something that I would call a UFO. A lot of these people are saying they saw things close up, like the Kenmore family. They said not only did they see this light flash and land in their backyard, they said they felt a shock wave and an energy presence as soon as it happened. So that's one reason I brought up energy earlier, because people claim that in the presence of these paranormal encounters, the energy is different and it's noticeable and you can feel it.
Folks, and I just want to tell people that don't believe any of this, like they totally are like, this is bullshit. This is not true. I want you to go to the CIA website tonight. Okay? There is documents released by the CIA. You could type in UFO in there and UFOs will come up, all their unclassified information. Last week, everybody sit down. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. What I'm going to tell you, you're going to need to sit down for. Okay? The CIA released last week. They released it. You could go and look at it on their website. In Russia, back in the 80s, I think it was the 80s, they saw a UFO. A bunch of their soldiers approached the UFO, and the UFO turned them to stone. Turned them to stone. That is in our CIA unclassified document out of Russia, that the UFO turned the soldiers into stone.
You know, you hear that, and there's so many people that are just scoffing, Danny, and just in disbelief already, and they're just like, no, they didn't, no way. But what Danny's trying to explain to you all is that these are actual reports. So
yes,
these are actual claims by the government agencies and entities. And as you said earlier, Danny, they're probably releasing it in waves, in bits and pieces that they want us to know. And of course, they're keeping back more information. I see William in the comments right now on YouTube says the pyramids in Egypt and the Sphinx, there's no way a man could build those out. Yeah, think about all the great grand structures that, you know, all the scientific mysteries and anomalies of the world that a lot of people attribute to, maybe it was aliens, maybe it was normal life, maybe it was something from another world that built these things or that helped harness the energy to create these things. So welcome everyone that's joining and that's just now tuning in. We're talking about UFOs, the UFO crash in Vegas in 2023, and we're trying to answer the question today, do aliens exist? So we will open it up in the comments to anyone who's actually seen a UFO or an alien. If you have, let us know.
And Steve just posted, it was 23 Soviet soldiers. That is released by our CIA, folks. Do you realize this? This was a classified document that is now unclassified. So what they're doing, why do you think they released this? They released this so they could drip it on us. Drip, 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 drip. Because if they come out and say, hey, you know what? We're not really who we're supposed to be. And you know what? There's other people that live with us. We don't go crazy, but they're dripping it on us. They're dripping it on us so we feel more secure about it. Honestly, that's what it is.
There were so many decades where it was all just kind of glamorized in the movie, TV shows, but it was all just publicly written off as entertainment only. But only in the recent few decades have we started to get the real life admissions from these government departments of, yes, okay, we know more. Yes, we have more. Yes, we've seen more. And yes, there is more behind the closed doors. And so at least they're giving us those admissions. And to answer the question of what really happened in Las Vegas on 2023, we should dive deeper into the body cam footage that I know some of our viewers have already mentioned, because approximately 38 minutes before the 911 call was made by the Canmore family that night, there was a light flash in the sky. You saw it on video, Danny. A lot of our viewers saw it already. Something happened and some light force fell down to the sky. Now, some experts say they think it was a meteorite that crashed 100 or even hundreds of miles away from Las Vegas. They don't know, but
Right.
many people saw it that night, Danny.
Yes, many people saw it. And Pete, here's the thing. The government, every time it's a weather balloon, it's a meteorite, it's Starlink, it's Starlink, Starlink, Starlink. Listen, folks, you don't have to like it. You better start learning to love it because it's real. Okay? And they're going to tell us. So start getting used to it. Because I'm telling you, when I talk about aliens on my social media, people get very uncomfortable, Pete. They get very uncomfortable. They start saying I'm a liar. They'll report my videos because they're scared, Pete. They're scared of what were we lied to our whole life? That's what they're basically saying. And I'm going to tell you, I think we were lied to our entire life. I don't think one thing that was told to us was true about this planet. Okay? And I think we were lied to. And guess what? The gig's up and they can't hide it anymore. That's the problem. They can't hide it.
One of our viewers said that when Japan had a nuclear leak, there were videos of the UFOs flying all over it. I definitely remember seeing some of those videos. And if you just look down the rabbit hole, there are lots of videos out there. Is there definitive proof? I guess that depends on what you interpret as proof. But if you think expert testimony helps towards proof, there's an expert named Scott Roeder who examined the footage of the shadowy figure from that night from the Canmore family backyard. And he said, first of all, the video footage is completely real. Secondly, he says there is some sort of creature in the video. And he said the opacity of the shadow of the creature's head was only 30%. What that means was it was kind of like semi-translucent. And he called it like a cloaking device. He said it had some sort of cloaking technique or a shadowy metamorphosis technique to kind of appear semi-invisible. And that's similar to what the Miami Mall description also gives. Interesting.
Yes. Yes. And there's people all the time saying that Miami Mall incident was real. Now, folks, I just don't know how people could be so like closed-minded, okay, and think that we're the only ones, okay? What I think's going on here, I don't think they're coming from other planets. I think they're right here. I think they're in our oceans. I think we're in sort of like some kind of dimension, and they come in and out, and we see them. And I think they live in our oceans. I really do. And folks, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna laugh at me, but our planet is covered by 70% water. You don't know what the hell's going on out there. You're on your 30% land. Okay? The rest of this planet, it's almost triple what our land is. Do you realize that? I mean, it's so much going on out there, and we don't know what's in it. These oceans are thousands and thousands of feet deep. Who the hell knows?
Some people think it's like Men in Black. They're just living among us. I see that comment right now. Hey, it's very possible. And I want to know if you are a creature that's not in any of the textbooks that science has not acknowledged yet, and you can live in outer space outside of the Earth's atmosphere. Do you think it's possible you could also live under the ocean? Sure. If you're a creature, we don't know what we're talking about. Do you have lungs? Do you have gills? Do you have some new breathing apparatus? Maybe you don't need to breathe. Who knows?
I know. And you know what? And Pete, that's what they're saying. They're saying we go by what we think is intelligent life because we look at ourselves and we're like, well, they got to look like us to be intelligent life. But that's only what we know. That's because it's only what we know as intelligent life. Intelligent life could look like something totally different than us. Totally different than us. And I'm going to tell you, as I'm as scary as it probably does. Okay? It probably does. Guys, if you think all of this shit going on in the news is all fake, you better get ready because it's coming. It's coming. They're going to tell us it's real. It's only a matter of time because they can't hide it anymore. One more thing, Pete, before because I have ADHD, I'll forget. They say there is a UFO that crashed years ago in another country. They won't say what the country is, but it's in classified documents. And it was so big, Pete, they couldn't hide it from the public. So they built a building over it. There is a building built over it so the public could never see it. It was built over it. And I truly believe that. Look at the pyramids. Them pyramids, there's something going on. I don't care what anybody tells me. Anybody.
It's really fascinating. And especially when you study not only everything that you're mentioning, and when you're studying all these things, it can get overwhelming, but you're looking at the roots of things. You're looking at intelligent life and signs of intelligent life. And then as you're studying the different places in the world where energy is channeled, such as where the pyramids are located, it's definitely something to talk about. Someone else just mentioned in YouTube, what about evil mermaids? A lot of people say mermaids are aliens or aliens are mermaids. What do you think, Danny?
Listen, I watched a documentary on mermaids too. Listen, nowadays, I believe everything. I believe anything is possible because I think since we've been little kids, they lied to us. And they brainwashed us to believe this whole world. And I don't think it's real. I'm sorry. And I'm going to make you really all hate me. I don't believe we ever landed on the moon. I think that's a total crap bullshit. Okay, if you think we landed on the moon with something that looked like this, with wires coming out of it, okay? Did you see that spaceship? That spaceship couldn't go to Henderson, and I live in Las Vegas, okay? And it went to the moon? There's no way. I would bet anything that moon thing was a total scam. Do you think Nixon called them on the phone? Hey, what's going on up there? In 1950? If you think he called the moon in 1950, go get your head examined because that never happened. Never.
Wow, Daddy. So what do you all think in the comments? Do you think the moon landing was real or do you think it was staged? I remember as a young kid, I always went to my science teachers and everyone, and I said, teacher, if we went to the moon decades ago, how come we haven't still gone to the moon? Why aren't we still going to the moon today? When are we going to go back to the moon? And you know what? They always change the subject. They never wanted to address it, ever.
And I don't think people realize that we never went back to the moon. Why? You know why? Because we were never there. That's why. It was a Hollywood. They filmed that in the Nevada desert. Right out here where I live. Right in the desert here, they filmed that. Guys, it looked like a broken Coke can that they flew to outer space with. Come on, man. Come on. You're not going to outer space with a broken soda can. There's no way.
So, Danny, were you there? Were you a little kid when it happened? Did you see it? No, it was way before your time, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was before me. I was born in 68.
I'm just kidding. So, a lot of people say Stanley Kubrick, the famous legendary director, is the one that directed the moon landing. So what do you all think about that?
Oh, my God. I believe it. I believe it. If you watch that, I mean, it's so generic. The think they went to the moon on that spaceship is insane. And to think the president called them? No way. I can't even get cell service out here. When I'm at Lake Mead, I can't get cell service. But he called the moon in 1950. There's no way. It's even laughable. Honestly, it's laughable that it happened. It really is.
Well, Danny, I will say that I actually just remembered I worked on a moon movie on a moon set in Georgia, and it was called First Man. It was based on the first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong, starring Ryan Gosling, who I got to work with on set, read lines with, and help him while he was in the space shuttle set over at Tyler Perry Studios. But when I walked on that moon set, I looked around and I said, okay, this is what they did before. They just took a bunch of dirt and they took rocks that looked like moon rocks and they made the little aluminum foil space shuttle. And we had Ryan Gosling, pictures up, lights, camera, action. Okay, that's a wrap. Now, if you go back and watch that movie, First Man, you can see the moon set. Tell me if that's a real moon.
Right. Pete, and I think about what the desert, you've been to Vegas, you've been out west. The desert looks just like that. I mean, it looks exactly like that. I mean, I honestly, I just don't think they did it. I mean, I would be shocked to find out they did. I would say if there was bets, like if Las Vegas was taking bets, the odds would be you would have to bet more to win less to say that it happened. Okay? Because there's no way it happened. The odds of that happening are 1 in 1,000. I mean, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. I'm sorry. I ruined your childhood on you guys. That didn't happen.
Well, the only way that we were able to make a moon set in the middle of Georgia was at a old rock quarry. So we used the old rock quarry, and they actually put up green screens in the far background to cover up the regular deep background. But it was completely manufactured. A desert setting probably would have been better for the actual moon, but they wanted to film it in Georgia for the tax credits. Either way, though, it was crazy being on the moon set and then just watching that. And the whole time I was thinking, I was like, huh, so was this real or is this what they did all those days ago?
And I'll tell you this, Pete. Probably an hour from now, because it's legal in Nevada, I will be as high as the moon. Just about an hour after the show.
I'm going to look up to you. And about an hour and a half after the show, I believe you'll be on your TikTok live, which I'm going to try to tune in.
I will be on TikTok live. Yes.
Nice. So shout out to everyone on TikTok. Go follow Danny Miner at The Crime Solver on TikTok and connect with he and I on all platforms. And if you're just now tuning in, we've got about 15 minutes left of our UFO in Vegas case. And do aliens exist? I think a lot of people think they do, Danny.
I think so too. I'm watching Instagram, and there was not one bad comment on Instagram. Everybody on Instagram is saying that they believe this, and they're with me. They believe the moon landing didn't happen either. I love it. I got conspiracy theorists in here with me. I love it. They're saying there's no way the moon landed either. But Pete, one thing we forgot to mention was that Metro went to that house and put up a camera, and they kept the camera there for how many days? Like 10 days?
Yeah, so they put up the camera at the Kenmore home on the roof. They extended a camera on the pole. They took it very seriously, and it was put up by the Specialized Homeland Security Division of Las Vegas Metro Police Department.
Homeland Security put that up.
So they took it that seriously. They put it up on May 19th. It was first noticed May 19th, and by May 27th, it was taken down. So within about a week or so, they took it down for unknown reasons. But they told the family that they were putting up a camera on their roof for their own protection.
Pete, I don't know. Pete, that is so. Where do you know Metro to be called to a house of a UFO and then they put a camera up at the house for days? Pete, that means to tell me they knew something happened. And it was Homeland Security. Homeland Security of Metro put that up. You got to realize that. Folks, if that doesn't make you open your eyes, I don't know what will. What's going on in this world? You're going to find out soon. It's coming. They can't stop it. That's my prediction.
So first of all, Danny, as a former law enforcement officer of 27 years, you might be able to answer this question. Do most Metro police departments have a Homeland Security division?
No. We surely didn't have a Homeland Security division. And my police department was the capital of Pennsylvania, and we didn't have a Homeland Security division.
I wonder how many cities in the United States have that focus.
I don't know. Now, I'll tell you this. The FBI would come once a month and brief me of what was going on. So I was in charge of our investigation division. The FBI would stop by. They, of course, we would have lunch and coffee and make a day of it, but they would brief me on what was going on and stuff I should be concerned about. So we did get briefings from the FBI, but we definitely did not have a Homeland Security division. Oh, Pete, there are some police departments right now, I swear to you, I'm not kidding you. There's police departments that have policies now that if they get called to a UFO crash or a UFO incident, what to do. They actually put policies in their police department's policies. It's crazy. And that's 100% true, guys. That's 100% true. It's insane. So why would they do that?
So you're telling us that the government is actually not only taking it seriously, but they're actually implementing precautions to prepare for the next crash.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. That Roswell started this whole thing. Well, honestly, guys, Roswell started it But you know what really got the ball rolling was Bob Lazar. I don't know if you guys noticed, and it's good to say right now. Bob Lazar worked at Area 51. He went to a newscaster, I can't think of the guy's name right offhand, in Las Vegas, got on the news saying that he worked at Area 51, and Area 51 is where they're redoing UFOs. They're getting them and making them ours. They're reproducing UFOs. And because of him, we found out there was Area 51. We never knew Area 51 was there. If it wasn't for Bob Lazar, we would never know Area 51 existed. And Pete, I see the planes fly out there every day. People that are employed out there fly in these little planes. They're white, they have a little red stripe, and they go out there every day. I see people fly out there. I've been to Area 51 3 times.
So what about people, Danny, that say all of this they're skeptical of? What about the people who say, you know what, there's an explanation for everything, and some of these witnesses are liars, some of them are hallucinating, some of them are on drugs, and some of them are insane? What do you say to all the skeptics out there? Because I do hear a lot of skeptics still, even today in 2025, that say, nope.
Pete, I think, honestly, I think it's fear. I think they're in fear that maybe they were lied to their whole life and they're going to find out they were lied to, and they're scared about it because it's scary to think that there's beings on this planet that are smarter than us, that are more intelligent than us. I mean, are they going to wipe us out? My thing is they would have wiped us out already. That's my thing. I don't think they would. I think it might be a little bit spiritual too. I always feel that too. Now, maybe it's because I go back to my religion. I don't know. I mean, it could be spiritual.
A lot of people say that, and even the priests who came to the Kenmore family house after these alleged alien sightings, the priest even told the Kenmore family that they believed they might be dealing with fallen angels or demonic entities. So they thought it was definitely spiritual, and the experiences that Angel experienced that he told reporters later with the upside down crucifix and with the Bible pages flipping by themselves, those definitely don't have a definite explanation. Now, of course, you can always say, okay, he's lying. You can think that he's lying. But I will say, as someone who's seen some unexplained things in life, I will say that some things can't be explained and some things you're going to have to see to believe, but also you can see evidence. And what we're talking about is all the evidence. I mean, there's just mountains and mountains of evidence. Now, where's this building again that was built over the UFO? Is that Area 51? I want to go there.
No, it's not in the United States. It's supposedly out of the country somewhere. So that's what they're saying. These are the UFO experts that say they have firsthand knowledge that they built the building. The UFO was so big that they had to build a building over it to hide it. Now, folks, you can sit here and think to yourself, oh, this ain't true. This ain't true. But look at the stuff you believed when you were a kid. You believed in Santa Claus. You believed in the Easter Bunny. Okay? Folks, I hate to tell you, you've been lied to your whole life. That's my gut feeling. I think this world is nothing that we know of. Like anything we know of it is not true. I have no, Pete, I don't even know who I am. Who the hell am I? I don't even know. How did I get here? I don't know. Why am I here? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm still having fun.
Hey, we're having fun every day. And that's what life's about. For one thing, is to definitely enjoy it. And we are talking about, as a kid, what were we taught? We were talking about aliens, UFOs. Danny, how many nursery rhymes or how many kids' stories are we told that have a basis on something dark or sinister? That's really interesting also, isn't it?
Oh, yes. I mean, the stuff that we were told. And listen, I hate, listen, I got to bring religion, okay? Just a little bit, just a little bit. I won't offend anybody. But when I was in Catholic school, think about this. I'm in kindergarten. So I'm what, 5 years old? And they start telling me how they took a nail and put it through this guy's hands and feet. Honestly, when you're a little kid at 5 years old and you're like, what? And then the nun's telling me, you might have to be a martyr someday and this may happen to you. And I'm like, wait a second. I don't know if I want to be in this Catholic school. Can I go over to the public school? Dude, I was 5 years old and they tell you how they put nails in Jesus' feet and hands. Okay? So, I mean, we were 5 years old when we were taught that.
I've definitely heard lot of Catholic stories and a lot of kind of horror stories from Catholic schools and Catholic upbringings. And there's definitely a lot of where we can honestly see that different religions have been used for darkness and for evil. When they are intended, the message is supposed to be good. The themes are supposed to be for redemption, for love, for grace, and things like that. But we see them twisted often. So that's definitely a shame, man. It's crazy.
I'm just saying, man, Catholic school was a trip. And the stuff, I mean, think about even religious stuff that you believe. And I don't want to offend anybody, but we believe crazy religious stuff. So why wouldn't there be aliens? Right? I mean, why
No,
wouldn't there be aliens?
think,
I just don't get it, guys.
yeah,
People get offended about this.
I think it's very interesting. The belief system that we have in general. I talk to people sometimes who say, I'm agnostic or I'm an atheist. They say they don't believe in a God. They don't believe in a creator. And in my mind, I just say, okay, well, where did this world come from? Where did the universe come from? What happened? And they like to say Big Bang. Well, Big Bang is a religious belief. You have to believe that religiously, that something magical or mysterious happened, no matter where you boil it down to. And obviously, we're going to be offending people in the comments, I'm sure. But no matter where you boil it down to, your beliefs are rooted in something that requires a faith of something supernatural or something that we can't see right now to explain.
Exactly. And listen, like I said, and guys, I still think this might be spiritual. Okay, I'm still a religious guy, so don't get mad at me here. The only thing I'm saying is you were taught that there's a guy in the sky that sees everything. Okay, he sees everything. He knows everything you do. He walks on water. Okay, and not only is there one of him, there's three of him. There's the Holy Spirit, there's God and Jesus, and that's one man. Okay, we believe that. Okay, which is crazy to believe that one man is three people. Okay, but yeah, we won't believe aliens. I just don't get it, Pete. We don't believe that aliens exist, but we'll believe there's a man in the sky watching all of us. And that's no diss to Jesus. I still believe in Jesus. I'm just trying to point out a fact. You know what I mean? A fact.
Yeah, I do see someone mentioned that Big Bang is a good TV show. So shout out to the show Big Bang Theory. That's actually a funny show. Uh, but you're right, Danny. Everything does require a belief, and it's interesting to see that people are so hardcore set in certain beliefs, but in others, I think it boils down to what you said earlier. I think that the fact is people are afraid by and large. And what does fear do? Fear prevents you from taking action. Often it causes the fight or flight reflex. So either you're going to run from it and you're going to distance yourself from something you're afraid of, or you're going to fight it and you're going to have conflict with it. And that's where a lot of these people who are like debating, or the famous debaters, they'll just come through and they'll just say, no, I have evidence, I have a reason for everything, but it's all just chitter chatter. No one's been able to convince me definitively that aliens don't exist yet.
Yeah, and I tell you what, let's chalk this up and each give our opinion, okay, of what we think this might be. And I'll go first. I'll let you take the last one. What I think it is, honestly, I think it's spiritual. I do. I think that this is not aliens coming from another country. I don't believe, another country, another planet. I don't believe they're coming from another planet. I think they're either here. I think it's spiritual. I think they're coming in and out of some kind of I don't know what, a portal or something. And I think it's all happening right here. I don't think anybody's coming from light years away. I think it's right here. And I think it kind of religious or spiritual. I do believe that. I really do. And I think that'll come out.
Wow, Danny, thank you for sharing. I believe that there are three factors behind UFOs and aliens. In my personal opinion, you can quote me for saying this. I think, first of all, there are spirits out there. This is a real spiritual realm that we're living in. We see the physical, we see the visual, we hear the audio, but there is a real spiritual realm. That's what I believe, first of all. Second, I believe the government and powerful entities do control technology and experiments that we're not fully aware of, that we do get bits and pieces of. And third, I do believe this earth and space is huge, and there are a lot of things that we do not have documented in science yet that might have been here the whole time we've been alive. They might be living right under our feet or in the sky right above us.
I agree, Pete. And we got to do another episode of this because it was big. A lot of comments on Instagram. It was good.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. I see someone mention our merchandise. So everyone tune in to Danny Miner's website, follow our links to get some Miner Details merch. As we're closing into the last minute of our show, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in to our UFO and alien podcast. We will do more paranormal and alien topics soon. Please join the Facebook group, The Miner Details, so you can tell us what you want to hear and tap in with us. Danny, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, Pete, this is a great episode. Guys, let us know. Email me at thecrimesolver@yahoo.com. Yes, I'm old. I still have a yahoo.com. Email me if you guys want to hear a certain podcast, you want to talk about a missing person, anything. You want to be a guest on this podcast, let us know. We're welcome. We'll bring guests on too. We haven't done that yet, but we will do it. So thanks, guys. We'll see you next Thursday at 6 p.m. We'll come up with a great topic. See you guys.
See you then.
Do the cash walk, do the cash walk. Hey, I'm leaving flaming footprints on the asphalt. Pop your collar, twist your wrist, do the cash walk. I'm dropping dollars while you're wishing on a scratch off. My hollow mama list, she just hit the jackpot. I'm leaving flaming footprints on the asphalt. Pop your collar, twist your wrist, do the cash walk. I'm dropping dollars while you're wishing on